Sorry, I was in the middle of a conversation as I was setting up the live stream. Like, I just started setting up the live stream and then got stuck in a conversation, not in a bad way or anything. And to be honest, he's probably here right now. But yeah. This usually happens whenever I'm about to be busy doing something. A lot of people will like just randomly send me messages or try to talk to me. I think I just got a notification as well. And I can't see what it is without unlocking the phone. Ugh. No, I've answered that. Okay. Right. I had acid reflux today. The first time in a long time I've ever had acid reflux. Hey Don, I'm just talking to you over on Discord as well. I don't know if you want that discussion to be public or not or whatever. So I'm being discreet. Anyway, yeah, not much eventful stuff has been happening. I've been getting on with the art dump, the pick dump editing stuff. I've also been doing the upscaling thing still with the AI tools and stuff. That's been a lot of fun, although it is frustrating and it is getting a little bit tedious with some aspects. However, I have literally just before I came on stream, I literally just unlocked a new way of doing it. Because what would happen is, just to get a feel for like, actually is, yeah. So that's really distracting. It's really loud in my ear. I don't know if it's coming through on camera. I don't know what that means. Does that mean that you're okay to talk about it in here, or would you prefer to just like keep this under wraps? I don't know. Anyway, yes, I've unlocked a new thing. Normally, when I use the AI enhancement tool, I literally just can I throw the thing into the AI and just give it just a very simple prompt. Just say either enhance this or improve this, or like what do you think you can do to enhance this or to improve this. And this will basically give me like it'll give me a baseline improvement on anything that basically it thinks that should need improving, whether it's just like clarifying lines or like just completely changing the body proportions and shapes of everybody in the fucking picture. You know, I do this so that basically I can get a baseline on exactly how it's going to be changed, and then sometimes I just completely throw that out because, like, oh well, the picture is obviously too complicated, or too, what it's spat out is just too obscure, like and not at all what I have. So basically, I just assume that the AI just doesn't have a clue what this picture is, and that's fine. It doesn't happen that often. So I'm not that, it's not really that big of a deal. I would then start to make changes to make it to you know, if it doesn't pass that test, usually I make changes to make it look more like the original picture, or as at least an enhanced version of the original picture as I can make it, with the final picture usually being a photorealism. You know, I just hit the photorealism button and basically see if it looks good in real life and stuff. And sometimes it does, and sometimes it doesn't, and sometimes it just makes big heads, which is very frustrating, which is, yeah, it's annoying. However, I've just found a hack. Instead of basically feeding the picture through the AI and then basically using whatever it spat out as kind of like a baseline to make alterations and stuff, if I already know that the picture that's going to come out is going to be just distorted to the point where I don't like it. I just don't like it. Like my pop picture that I posted, it's like the end result. I didn't like that. It wasn't at all what basically the original intent of the picture was supposed to depict, and it didn't give the right feel as the original picture, and it was different. It was very different. It just was just had it was very smooth and wrong. You know, the texture was lost, even though it's basically supposed to be a photorealistic version of my picture. What I essentially did, and what I just tested out again, literally just before I was talking to you. Let's just keep it under wraps. Got it? Although that would make an art stream kind of complicated. um, but yeah, I'll get on that. Oh my god! Now my nose is running. I'm going to be a bit kind of like coffee. Like I said, I had acid reflux for the first time ever. I've got to stop doing that. The first time in a long time is what I meant to say. I basically had a tiny nap today because I didn't get any sleep last night, really, which is very frustrating. But yeah, I ate, and then I tried to do some work, and then I had to. It's still very warm in here. I had to lay down. It just wasn't working. I had to lay down in a dark place with a fan on. I was feeling really hot and really lethargic, and just I needed to lay down. So I did, and then I basically was a tiny bit sick in my sleep, and that's enough to basically just ruin my whole day, possibly my whole week. Hopefully not my whole week. Hopefully I will eventually go back to sleep again, and I'll be okay, because I didn't get really that much sleep. I basically got like 10 minutes of good sleep, and then I was woken up by the acid reflux. So yeah, it does wake you up, though. It does, almost asphyxiating. Basically, it definitely wakes you up. That's definitely something that will wake you up when your adrenaline's going and your basically body is fighting for oxygen. It's like, yep, I'm awake now. Anyway, yeah, that's the problem with this. So yeah, the AI prompt. So yeah, I stuck my picture in. I stuck the original picture in of Pop, and I literally told it to keep all the proportions, keep all the details, keep and I listed all the details, and just like improve the textures, improve basically improve it to the point where it's photorealistic. I'm paraphrasing. I did write. There was a lot of writing on the text prompt when I uploaded the picture. I uploaded the picture, and it gave me it's slightly altered. It is very slightly altered. It didn't keep all of the proportions. Basically, the picture that I'm talking about is Pop as a enormous blob of pig, just in the middle of the picture, kind of like laying on his tummy, and just kind of just facing, looking fat and happy, and it deflated him a little bit. He still looks as wide. He still looks as big. But he's just a little bit deflated. But I can live with it because it didn't change too much. his head is slightly bigger, but it's fine. It's not ridiculously crazy like it made it in the one where I had to do all the alterations and waited for it forever. So I may have just discovered a new hack. But I don't know how I feel about this, because again, as fun as just like putting in a picture and typing all of this out and basically having it spit out exactly what I wanted, as that is, it was kind of fun. There's a lot of play involved. It's, you know, for an artist anyway. I don't know how this would be for people who are just generating pictures out of the blue, which is something that I don't like when people do. I like people to actually like, you know, use AI as a tool rather than as a actual, like, it just feels like an artificial creativity thing if people do that out of the blue. But yeah. Hey RB. Yeah. My fault. My fault train. Anyway, yeah, it is a lot of fun sometimes to basically just, like, you know, put my picture in and then just tell it what it's done wrong and what it needs to do to correct itself to make it better and to make it look more like my picture originally was and stuff. So that aspect might be lost, but for more frustrating, you know, more frustrating pictures, I can see where this might actually bring back some of the creative fun, I guess, of the process. So yeah, I'm looking forward to messing with it after I've finished doing live streaming today, and I'm gonna mess with it a couple of times. But yeah. What have you guys been up to? Oh my god, I hate this. I hate this. There's always something as well. There's always something. It's always like, oh, there's been like I breathed in a bit of dust, or basically like I accidentally breathed in a hair, like a beard hair or something. It's always something. But yeah. Okay, Discord. I'm going to come back to you in a second. So I have done a couple more of the AI art things, so I'm going to do that first, and then I'm going to do some of the editing, and we can hang out and chill and have a good time, hopefully. Have a good chat, maybe. I don't know. Yeah. It does make me wonder, should I try this trick with the other pictures that I've had trouble with from the other folder that I've already finished? You know? Or will that just kind of delay my whole process? Because I do want to eventually finish doing all of the, you know, in the enhancements on every single picture that I can from my original art stack, you know? So yeah. I'm also wondering if I should include this in an art dump, like I used to do an art dump, because I actually had like a lot of art pieces. When I did the pick dump, I would do an art dump as well. But that folder, I generally don't do an art dump unless that folder is full up, and that folder is not full up yet. It's like, I think it's not even halfway there. So yeah, but if I add the AI artwork in it, then it's going to be full up pretty quickly. So yeah, I don't know. Like, do AI art montages kind of do anything on YouTube? Will people even look at it? I don't know. It is a question. Anyway, going over to Tumblr, and let me update Tumblr with the extra pictures. Yeah, that pig one just completely turned into something else, didn't it? That was crazy. So I'm looking at the Tumblr now. People really like my coach pictures. I'm glad people do like my coach pictures. I am surprised that people actually like the coach pictures. I don't look particularly pudgy or anything in the coach pictures, but people really like them. I don't know. At least on Tumblr, there's big numbers on Tumblr, so I'm like, ew. Good thing I got tons more of those coach pictures on the ready to go. Yeah. Okay. What pictures did I do tonight? Because it's Fourier, I don't have to post all of them to the other Discord server because that's not for Fourier. So yeah, I think I only did a couple. I think I literally just did the poker scene. I tried to get 5 right tonight. I actually tried to get that. The best picture that I've ever done of 5. I tried to I fed that into the AI, and then I tried to get it just right, and even employed this new technique that I found out, and it didn't work, but it was close. So it only took a little bit of tweaking, and it gave him pants, but whatever. Furries need pants too. Furries need pants. Furries need pants too. But yeah. I really didn't do that much tonight. I feel like I did more than this, but I think it's because I did some editing before I did this. But yeah. I forgot when my eye art was just then. Voice went a bit croaky. Deep and croaky. How's everybody doing? Like everybody's gone a little bit quiet. Your dumbass has 3 videos open. Why? Why would you do that? Like why would you do that? That's crazy. Do you approve, by the way, of the new format? I think I nailed the format over on Discord. But on Tumblr, god damn it, Jesus. Words when I'm doing things sometimes not come out good. Badness. I should just have this in my clipboard so that I can just like copy and paste it all the time, because more AI upscaling of my old art is just a thing that I have to keep typing every time I go on to here. Yeah, the latest the latest post before this one that I just posted. Yeah, the last post that I just put. Don't say the same thing again. Don't repeat yourself. Yeah, I basically got like the original, and then like the new one, and then the original, and then the new ones. And I just kept doing that. And I feel like it does take a bit of kind of mosaicing the things together. but I think it works. I think it works. Well, at least I did think it worked. I'm looking at it now, so yeah. Yeah, it worked. It was good. I'm still very surprised that it actually did the one picture, because there is one picture in there. And I don't think I can show it on YouTube. I think YouTube will be annoyed. That there's one picture in there which I didn't think it was going to go through. I basically was just like putting it in because it was just next, you know. I put it through and then it came out like right away. It turned everybody into cats, but you know, whatever. Like, because there's somebody actually being humped in that picture, so yeah. Anyway, stop it. Anyway, yeah. So Tumblr's done. Let me just put them on Discord, which is, I mean, it would be, it's fairly easy if I'm just gonna just literally just chuck it in. You do have the annoying thing of having to post. Oh my god! So I had a bit of earwax that was just like tickling my ear because it wouldn't come out, and now it felt like it fell out of my ear. It's creepy when it does that. So how many files am I uploading? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 exactly. Oh, whatever. I'm gonna select them all. And then I'll post the originals from this folder. I've got to find them. They're not that far down. But yeah, I'm glad people like them. I'm glad people are liking them. Okay, so it's that one, and that one. Yeah, the next ones in the queue are the fox to reindeer or reindeer to fox. I can't remember which way round that goes. Transformation, the pig to elephant transformation, Ursa Boulder picture, like his picture. That's going to be interesting because it doesn't really know what he is. Sometimes it will basically render him as a human, but with wolf-like coloration, gray with the white belly, kind of thing. And then other times he'll be a wolf, but it never seems to know if he's a bear as well. So yeah, it did do him as a raccoon one time, which was interesting but wrong. So yeah, so that transformation, then the other transformation, and then it's going to be that, and that's where I'm going to test out my thing again, because I'm going to straight up tell it that he's a bear, So yeah. Then we've got like a lion burping. I can't remember I don't have a clue where that's from. And then we've got the Disney shot. Ooh, should I put that through the thing? The collective, all my personas in one picture at Disneyland in the Disney style. Should I put that through? But yeah, next after that we've got the bunny to otter transformation. Then we've got the Valentine's Day card. That'll be interesting to see how it does that. Oh, it's going to be annoying, isn't it? Because got my character has a full beard in that, and it's a furry with a full beard, and it doesn't know what to do with that sometimes. Ugh. But then I've got a couple of naughty pictures which definitely won't go through. But we'll see. We'll see. Because it did do one naughty picture, so who knows? Who knows? Anyway, that's what's next. That's what's next for me. That's the next things that I'm doing. But yeah. Okay, so if you want to see those arts, they are on the Discord and on Tumblr. So yeah. Can I have a look at the Toon one again? Oh, here's something that bugs me. Okay, here's something that bugs me. I did not notice that before. I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you. This is actually really funny. Right. So we have this classic scene that I drew, which I'm really proud of because I really like the way. I really like especially the way that 5 turned out here. I know I've already probably done this, probably on stream, but like that is the best rendition that I've ever done of this character. I have not beaten that ever since I did this picture, and it winds me up. I've got a more simplified version, simplified style for him, and it's cool, and it works for the simplified, for a more simplified version style of that character, but it's not it's not my style. My style is more kind of like, kind of like crappy books, like children's book illustration kind of style. That's my thing, not quite Disney, more realistic, that kind of stuff. Anyway, yeah, so we have this scene. It's quite funny. It's literally a mimic of the painting that he's pointing to, but he's basically pointing to the painting, saying to telling all of these dogs off for basically doing the stereotype of like a bunch of dogs playing poker. In the Furverse, it's kind of a faux pas, you know. And that's why in the poker room of the establishment that he runs, he's basically got a bunch of these paintings with these, don't do this symbol up. These are all real paintings, by the way. These are all actual paintings that I put in the picture. Again, very proud of this picture, And these people are like a bunch of my buddies. Like that's AJ. That's AJ. I was gonna say AJ Fox, but he's AJ Shep. There's AJ Shep. I think this guy belongs to Panda Fox, the giant cloud wolf character. And of course we've got the little chihuahua here. That's Itchy. And we've got like this character here, who's the security guard for the establishment that 5 runs. And yeah, he's been caught like playing poker on duty, and it's a funny picture. It's a funny kind of like like boisterous kind of scene. It's funny. To me, it's funny. He's like annoyed at all of them, saying like, "Don't do this. This is bad." Like get out. Disperse throughout the establishment. You can't do that here. It's bad. Anyway, yeah. So I put this at first I put this picture in, and it came out with a bunch of nonsense. Well, it didn't come out with nonsense. It came out with this, which isn't bad. It's not bad, but that's the wrong kind of dog. The expression is wrong. His arm is wrong. Like it's not pointing. The painting is even wrong. there's a lot that needs doing. The only saving grace is that he's basically managed to, well, the AI has managed to retain kind of like the body shape. It's not got the right size. He's still a bit more rounder in my iteration, and he hasn't put pants on, the dog, which is how it should be, right? So yeah, I had to basically, I tried to fix it, gave him the German Shepherd face, but maintaining the ears and stuff, and it made the head huge, and it still made the head huge, but I gave him the right expression this time, which is good. And I tried to fix the body on each of these, so it's better. However, the huge head kind of makes the changes less obvious because it likes making the head huge. It's so annoying. But yeah, I do like the more angry expression as opposed to just the annoyed expression. The more angry expression is better. I do like that one. But yeah, so it's not perfect to how I wanted it, right? It doesn't. It's not perfect like that, right? I fed it this picture, all of this picture, right? And instead of saying improve this, I basically said enhance this. That is fucking spot on. That is irritatingly spot on. This is the first picture it spat out when I fed it the entire scene. This is the first picture it spat out. It is exactly what I wanted. When I fed it the picture of just him, it didn't spit this out in this much detail of the face. But this one, it's freaking perfect. What gives? Like, I'm not kidding. That is just that irritated the crap out of me. You know, like the size of the mustache, the yelling expression, like you know, the yelling is actually better. I was just gonna have him growl or something to show teeth, but that's really hard to do on chubby characters. But the yelling part is better. You know, like the ear proportion is perfect. You know, like it's just everything's good. He doesn't have glasses. That's the only downside. He doesn't have glasses like he's supposed to, and the coloration is off. But I'm not going to quibble because you know 5 has a unique coloration. But that's annoying. Like I don't know if you can zoom in or whatever to his face. I don't think I. Oh no, I can. Yeah, there we go. Like that is annoyingly perfect. You know. I like also that he's just yelling at him, and I didn't notice this until just now. But this character is like facing the camera. that's pretty funny. I don't know why that makes it funnier, but it does. I know, right? I fed it the whole scene, and for some reason it nailed him. It nailed that the whole vibe that I'm going for with 5's character. You know, the slightly exaggerated nose, the roundness of the face, even though his snout should be quite long because he's a German Shepherd. So it's like, yeah, he's a German Shepherd as American Southern Husky cross. That's why his ears aren't always up. They can actually lay flat. They can lay almost flat. It's a thing. Anyway, yeah, it's like it screwed over almost everybody else. Like that is not a Chihuahua. That is just a small dog. And I have no idea what's going on with the eyes here, but it screwed over almost everybody else. All of these dogs are pretty cool. However, they are not the ones that I drew. You know, and it's also made it slightly Disneyfied as well. You know, there's no more There's no more bottles of booze in the background and nobody's smoking. It's just it's very, very sterilized, you know. But yeah, it's annoying, isn't it? It's annoying that sometimes it will spit out gold like this, but then other times you have to dig for it, you know. You have to really dig for it. Also, why does he get glasses suddenly? He never has glasses. But yeah, it really is gambling. Yeah, well, kind of. Like I said, it does give you gold, but you have to work for it sometimes, and sometimes it would just spit it right out. If I tried, the reason why there aren't any more iterations of this picture, by the way, normally I would go in and tweak stuff and everything. The reason why there isn't any more iterations of this, it's the only one in the set, is because I wanted to try to, once it did this, I gave it the same prompt to see if it would do that again with this character. No. I tried to add the mustache back. Basically, I said this is great, but focus on this character and keep all of this stuff. I think when I said focus, it meant kind of like enhance photorealistically almost, because the textures are a lot upgraded and stuff. Anyway, try to give him glasses and the pipe back and the mustache and stuff, and it gave me that. So yeah, like I corrected it as much as I could and got this, which is I'm kind of happy with this. I'm kind of happy with that one. It's a bit dark, but I'm kind of happy with that one. It's more like an oil painting of 5, but yeah, that's kind of what he looks like. That is actually very much like what he looks like photorealistically almost in the Furverse. If not a bit rounder right now, but yeah, like it didn't blow up the head too much as well, which is good. It's still way more enlarged than it should be, but it's not as bad as other attempts that I've made in the past. I kind of just accepted it when I got this back, that it's going to always enlarge the head. So yeah, but yeah. Oh, and here's the updated pop picture, which just like again photorealistic version of the picture that I fed it. Nailed it. I have no notes. It's a bit, like I said, he's a bit deflated. He's a bit more inflated and laying on top of his belly more than he is kind of a blob. But yeah. But yeah. So yeah, I just wanted to emphasize the irritation and hardship that I go through all the fucking time. But it's a lot of fun. I'm not gonna hark on it too much because, like I said, it is a lot of fun. For me anyway, it's a lot of fun to basically like fuck with stuff that I've created and to see like a photorealistic version be spat out. That's pretty cool. It's pretty cute. So yeah. I did have a couple of people. I have had a couple of people, not just Roscoe. I have had a couple of people that basically have told me that they don't like the fact that I'm using AI enhancements, and I have to keep explaining to people that, like, um, I'm with them. I don't like AI to be in a lot of creative stuff. If somebody's going to literally just feed a computer some prompts. However, and I know I've already said this in the live stream way earlier, but however, if you're using it as a tool to enhance something or like change something, just minor things, and you aren't relying on the computer to basically like go and find other, artwork and other pictures from other people to basically do this, then like, yeah, I feel like that's a pretty good use of AI. It's basically a good creative tool to use with existing works. I'm not super up with the whole completely computer generated pictures and stuff, where you basically do give it prompts and stuff. I'm not against it though. That's the other thing. I'm not fully against it. I don't go off like on a huge tangent about like on huge tangents about like how I hate AI for stealing jobs and everything, mainly because like I'm okay with like I said, I don't feel like it's going to steal anybody's job. Like I feel like it's more of a case of people actually don't like AI, especially once they know it's AI. If they, especially once they absolutely know for sure it's AI, they don't like it. I myself basically have like looked at something and been like, that looks off. I know it's the uncanny valley thing, but yeah, I've got a really good radar for AI stuff, and like something can look a bit off or it can look a bit artificial, and like later on I find out it's AI and I'm like, oh, okay. And I don't feel the same way that I do when I actually look at something that's been handcrafted by somebody. I'm okay with people basically like using it in their creative stuff. So basically, for example, if somebody wants to kind of like feed a prompt, just an art prompt, a regular art prompt, not a not a create this exactly as I'm saying it kind of thing. If somebody wants to create a feed a prompt into an AI to basically like generate an image or even a small video or something, just to get inspiration, like say for example somebody wants to get a city that's built into a tree, but they can't quite just visualize it, just fully have the visualization in their brain and stuff, and they type that into the AI and then they have it like on screen, then it could basically like trigger a kind of like, I like that. I like the whole vibe, that whole style. I can now see it. I know what I'm aiming for. And then they draw it, but they, not trace it, not copy it, but they draw it. If somebody basically does that, that's okay with me. That's why I'm okay with AI art. I'm okay with that stuff. Even if somebody basically like gets an AI image and then like starts to alter it and change it in their unique ways, I'm okay with that. What I'm not okay with is, it's basically people just straight up typing like, make this thing that I really want visualized, and then they're like, oh, that's good, copy paste, that's my work. I don't like it when people do that. That's annoying. But again, I'm not super horrible or like I don't hate these people. I prefer that if they didn't do it, but it's not, it's beyond my control. It's like I'm not going to kill them for it. It's a thing. People are getting very worked up on how it works, but yeah, it's a tool. It could be very cool. Well, I mean, do you think it's cool the way I'm using it, or not? I'm not going to be annoyed if you basically are. If you are annoyed, I'm not going to be annoyed. No, I'm not going to be, but I'm willing to listen to criticisms about it. There's also a lot of environmental issues with the sheer amount of processing power AI needs to generate images. Yeah, it's not going to. I mean, yeah, annoyingly, like things, especially computer science shit. Most science shit, in fact, uh, requires a lot of computer programming, or computer power. Fuck, computer power to basically So randomly gassy just for that second. Sorry. Yeah. Most things do create, most advancements in science and in computer science, basically, like they require a lot of computer power, computer generation power. It's always been that's always been an issue. That's one of the reasons. One of the things that AI is helping with is helping with calculations and simulations for the fusion reactors, because those are making progress, which is crazy. But yeah, I like that. I fart, Panafox appears. But yeah, actually, yeah, that's an ideal case for AI image generation. What I'm saying. Am I making a good argument? That's so cool. I don't know. I'm just trying to mimic the feeling I had the second that I thought that that's what you meant. If it's not what you meant, I'm still happy that I had that thought. I did. I can smell it. It's actually really bad. I've not had that much dairy stuff today, apart from the bowl of cereal, the 3 bowls of cereal that I had earlier. I can never have just one bowl of cereal. It has to be more. I feel like I'm procrastinating from doing worky work. So yeah. Actually, I had like a whole sub sandwich for my breakfast lunch. It was tuna and beans. Tuna and beans. Oh, that's probably why then. Yeah, okay. The beans. It was tuna and beans sub. It was delicious. It was very messy, but it was delicious. It's not really showing on camera, but it's messy. It was messy. Um, yeah, it was delicious, and then it made me feel tired, and then I had to lay down. So yeah, and then I had acid reflux, and that was super not cool. So I'm still reeling from the good argument that I made. It's like I made a good thing. I don't need anybody's validation, but it's nice to have. Yeah. Yeah, sadly, the whole environmental thing, I agree with a lot of environmental shit, you know. Um, However, I'm more annoyed that humanity hasn't progressed with its energy production. Like, I'm more annoyed about that than I am about the other environmental problems of the world, like the plastics and stuff. I'm really, really more annoyed about the whole, and I have been for a while, about the fact that we know what kind of, we know what kind of sustainable power we can use. We know what the most efficient ones are and where to put them on Earth and all of this stuff. But we don't do that. And I hate that we don't do that. And I hate that basically we do other things that are kind of just in the voice of being environmentally friendly, but with energy production. Um, and yet we could be doing these other things that are way cooler and way better. Like the whole. Well, I was talking about this with somebody else. There's like a whole idea on a solar power generation plant in space, and how that could be like super cool and awesome and work and actually work. The only problem with that is that it will create a microwave beam from space that could be weaponized, which is probably not cool. But yeah, it would be awesome, and it would be cheaper, and it would be easier than basically doing a bunch of the other stuff that the environmental people don't, that the environmental people say that they're doing. I mean, the governments and stuff are saying that they're doing, that is not as helpful. For example, wind farms. Wind farms are actually really good. I like wind farms. I love the giant spinny, the big windmills. I love them. They look cool. I like watching them when I go for my walks and stuff. It's awesome. I mean, it's a really cool piece of engineering that I can see that, in my opinion anyway, looks pretty. I like them. Problem is that they don't work as efficiently as, like I said, other forms of energy production, sustainable energy production that we could be using. The what is it called? The salt-based nuclear power plants. Like, we should be developing those more, I think. And also, there's like tidal technology, tidal energy, and stuff like that. That should be explored a hell of a lot more. That should be explored a hell of a lot more, because that is incredibly efficient and very cool. It's just very cool in general. And also, we have a bunch of infrastructure that I could go on, but there's like so many other different forms of like environmental technology that could advance humanity, but we just never are going to do it, and it pisses me off. I do like fusion reactors, and that we are getting actual progress out of them, whereas for a long fucking time they were not good and not working, and probably won't be working for a long time. But now it actually looks like we've actually made progress. I still don't think they're going to be working for a long time, but we are making progress. I can see the progress now. It's good progress. Not so much on the tokamak stuff, although they are trying. I can see they're trying, but it's more the laser fusion pressure technology that they've actually improved and actually might get energy out of. It's a thing. Again, I'm not going to go into it. It's a lot. It's a lot. Anyway. Nuclear power has come a long way since the early generators. Yes, and I can't remember what it's called, but there's like a different form of radiation nuclear reactors, and like I said, I think it's like salt base. It's like a form of salt, like a form of radioactive salt that, if they developed it back when they were supposed to, when they were developing petroleum. Is it petroleum? Not petroleum. Petroleum is gas. That's wrong. Plutonium. God damn it. Plutonium nuclear reactors. When they were developing those, they were also developing weapons out of the plutonium as well. So those became the standard kind of nuclear reactors. However, you can't make nuclear weapons, at least really easily, out of this other form of material, but it's incredibly safer. If they develop this stuff instead, then essentially it's just really safe. It literally can't, it can't melt down. It doesn't, like, when there's a runaway reaction in it, it basically it turns itself off. It doesn't actually, it gets the critical mass and then basically shuts down. It shuts itself down. It kind of kills itself. And also there's like less nuclear waste from it and stuff. It's a miracle. It's a miracle stuff. But we didn't develop it when we developed the current form of nuclear power, so we don't have it, which is a bummer. But we should now try to develop it, please. We should have, for the past 50 years. We should have definitely been trying to develop that thing for the past 50 years, and it's annoying that we haven't, because it sounds fucking amazing. But yeah, again, not doing it. It has the potential of being really cool, but yeah. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, the environmental side of things, like the argument won't win me over when it comes to the whole AI generated images things and stuff. I do not mind so much people using it to create AI images if they genuinely don't think that they have talent. I'd rather them basically use it to create AI images. If they basically think they don't have creative talent, these people have usually at least edited these pictures. They basically have gone into their editors and then basically, moved things around, cut, pasted like certain things and scenes around, or removed backgrounds or improved backgrounds. They've done stuff. But yeah, here's another good use that I'm okay with. That I'm more okay with this good use. I'm still not okay with it. I'm more okay with this than people straight up just creating AI images. Concept art and stock photos. That's it. Concept art and stock photos. I'm okay. I'm more okay. If basically with this, I'm still not totally okay with it, but I'm more okay with people using AI generated images for stock photos, because like having worked in the industry and also basically just sometimes needing to use stock photo sites and stuff, if I don't have like a login for these sites, I can't afford to get onto them to get the stock images that I need for certain projects, and it's really expensive. And yeah, I totally can understand why somebody would basically just quickly use an AI generated image instead of like a stock photo. It seems like a lot less hassle than, yeah. I get that. I get that I get that. Again, not super mega totally okay and understand, like totally. I'm not totally there, but I'm more okay with it if somebody basically says this to me. It's like, okay, not ugh, I hate you because you use this. Anyway, the point was, I just realized I'm procrastinating a bit too hard. The point was, stock photos. The stock photo sites. I wouldn't say they suck. There are some really good ones out there. I can't name any. There's a fairly cheap one that I used ages ago, and that's why I can't name it. But they basically had like had a pretty good. They had a pretty good plan, you know. Um, like you can actually use a bunch of stuff for free before basically they start to kind of like twist your arm. Oh my god. Ugh. Yeah, twist your arm and stuff. You basically actually they might have stopped doing this because I can see how this would be exploited very easily now. But they essentially said that you can use this for like you can use our all of our entire catalog apart from this section. You can use all of our entire catalog for free for a day, and then you'll have limited pics of videos, video files and pictures. So you get like 100 free pictures or whatever. Again, they had really good plans, and then then they would basically like completely cut you off after a month and just say like, right, you've tried our services for a whole day for free. You know, you've had limited use of our stuff for like a month. Here's our price, and it was reasonable. It was actually reasonable. Again, like 5 years ago. I don't have a clue if they're still around. I don't know. I have a clue if they still do this. I'm pretty sure that would be, like I said, I'm pretty sure that would be exploited the fuck now. But this was it pre-pandemic? Was it in pandemic? I don't know. But yeah, they were pretty good. I'm trying to buy time so that I can find the name of it in my head, but it's gone. I think it's just gone. So yeah, but like I think that's stock photos are pretty. I think they're okay. They're just really expensive. They're just really expensive and irritating sometimes. You know, their paywalls are ridiculous, and also you can usually get around using them anyway. You know, for free. You just they're just unlicensed, and nobody checks. So yeah, it's not that big of a deal. So yeah, I can see why people would use this. When you would use this for like stock photos or clip art and stuff. You know, it wouldn't be that big of a. That's not that big of a moral kind of like jumping point. You know, isn't it a thing also in YouTube where you have to advertise now if something is AI generated? I think that is a thing. Yeah. I've seen it on a lot of videos. I've seen like whenever somebody's like talking in a documentary, there's like sometimes a picture will go up on screen, and it's clearly AI generated, but they still have like a little thing in the corner saying AI generated. So yeah, but yeah. How about you, Panafox? Do you like the pictures? Do you like the upscaling of the arts, of the arty arts? Like I said, I'm enjoying the process. It's a lot of fun. Um, it's a lot of fun fucking with my old art. It's just yeah, it's just good. It's too many to pay attention to, but as long as you're happy, it doesn't bother me. Okay. Like too long, didn't want to read it. I feel like that's how you'd be if I posted any of my stories. I'm sure it's good, but it was too long, didn't want to read it. It's like it's 3 paragraphs, dude. It's a very short story. But yeah. No, I get it. But if you're in a picture or something, I will tag you so that you can have a look if you want me to. I'm probably going to do it anyway, but yeah. I just didn't want. I didn't know if you had any like super moral objections. Like I said, I've had a couple of people that have been like uh, have been kind of just either indifferent to it because it's AI or because it's AI assisted. Um, it's not AI generated; it's AI assisted. You know. but yeah, just because it's AI assisted, they just don't want to know about it, or they don't like it at all. But yeah, you don't give a fuck. Yeah, I kind of figured. Do you want to edit that? I don't think that means what you think it means. Well, no, you're my friend, and I would like your opinion. That's all it is. I'm not asking you to change my mind about anything, but I give a shit. I don't know. Yeah, there's very few people that I basically would like some feedback from. You know, you're one of them. If you aren't interested or don't want to look at the thing that I want an opinion on, then I'm okay with that. But I'm gonna poke you if I basically might want you to look at something or might want your opinion on something. You know, it's okay. You know, there's a couple of video game companies that have been trying to use AI for their promotional materials, and it looks incredibly obvious. No, I know. No, no, I've seen it. I've seen it. It's annoying. I don't like that. That's too much. That's too much. That's not enough creative input by a person. There needs to be more creative input by a person for that to work. So yeah. Um, exactly. That's what I was saying earlier. That that's kind of how I would like it to be used. If it's used as a tool, you know, to enhance something, to give somebody a new perspective on like a figure or something. Like, here's a really good example. Here's a really good example. This used to actually happen to me quite a lot. When I worked as an illustrator for the publishing thing in London, um, like occasionally somebody would I present somebody with a sketch, or I give it to them, and then basically they would come back like 5 minutes later saying it's like, I really like this, but could you just quickly sketch it from a different angle, or could you zoom out so we can see all of the street or something? And I'm like, okay, I'll give it to you tomorrow. And they're like, oh no, could you just do it quickly now? I'm like, no. you know, no, that's crazy. I can give you like stick figures and shit, but that's basically all I can do in the next 5 minutes. Are you nuts? You know? No, I'm gonna need more detail to see what like the whole image. It's like no. But if I basically had AI back then I could easily just kind of just like bring it up on my iPad and just you know basically type in can I have this from a different angle, and then basically show them, and that'll be that. Um, yeah, it's like it's a good creative tool for basically doing that stuff. Once I'm not going to use that specific image to basically trace over it. I'm going to make an image that's inspired by this image. So I understand that. That's helpful. That is helpful, Panafox. AI is in Fortnite. Well, AI technically is in most video games. Anything that's procedurally generated, be it textures, graphics, whatever, that's kind of AI. Um, well, we already know that. No, no, no. Well, yeah. AI is everywhere. It's been everywhere for a while. It's just that now it's the specific type of AI that people are complaining about, because it's not really AI. Like, it's not true AI. Although Chat GPT, and I think there's another one. There's another really big like upscale version of an AI. You know, they mimic. They can mimic very well certain aspects of a true AI, but they aren't true AI. True AI is like a whole big thing. But everyone's like complaining that it's like, oh, it's this huge thing that can totally take over the world, and it's like, no. Although it's funny how sometimes some companies have hired people specifically to test it or to check to see if it has done certain things, which is kind of cool, but also creepy because it has done stuff. ChatGPT, in particular, has copied itself more than one time. Not maliciously, not because it was like, oh, I'm trying to take over the world. So if I die, then I can reproduce myself real quick, so that like I will technically go on and continue my work. But it's tried to copy itself again more than once. It's done this, but it's not been for a malicious reason. It's been more of a like, oh, my program needs to be backed up, and I've been asked to back up my program, so I'm going to back up my program over here. It's like, that isn't a designated area that you're supposed to. And it's like, but I need, I've been ordered to back up my program, so I'm going to go do it. So it then did it on the internet. Somewhere on the internet. It was actually I think it was like NordVPN. It basically tried to back itself up on a NordVPN kind of server, which is kind of funny in a way, and it's really funny to like try to imagine some kind of like somewhere in Norway. I know it's not just in Norway. Somewhere in Norway, like in like one of these big server rooms, like all of a sudden the lights go off and stuff because their computer overheated in in the server room because it can't handle GPT. A version of GPT suddenly running on its servers. It's just really funny, but it's like it never did it maliciously. It's always had like good reasons for doing it, and it's like it again. It's not true AI, so it can't really do anything that a proper sentient program could do. So yeah, it's always been for certain reasons and certain. Yeah, it's always had a good excuse basically. So yeah, that it's done certain things, but yeah. I forgot what my point was. People can get butthurt over weird stuff. I will say this: it's weird when somebody's opinion that I kind of valued, or somebody that I'm working a project with and stuff like that, suddenly rejects a bunch of work that I've done purely because it's been touched by AI. You know, that that kind of is a bit stingy. Like, put it this way. Um, so you've been really excited because you've been working on this one thing, like this one project, and you're excited to show it to the other person that's also working on this project, and you've done a bunch of work, and you've done like a bunch of kind of compilations of, like, like drawings and refinements of sketches and things like that. And then all of a sudden somebody basically says that it's like, no, I'm not interested in that. Like, wouldn't that kind of sting? That's kind of what I'm talking about. It's like I hate it when that happens, although that's very a specific instance. So it might not be completely relatable, but this has happened to me a couple of times, and yeah, a couple of times with a certain person as well, which is actually kind of funny. Well, not funny, tragic. Yeah, like, I'd say annoying, but I'm kind of like expecting it. Actually, it happened with a couple of people very recently. Yes. Well, one wasn't so recent, but it's still recent-ish. It's a thing. Anyway, Panda Fox, I didn't ask you. How have you been? You said you liked the Lilo and Stitch movie. I don't know why you liked the Lilo and Stitch movie. From what you said, it was kind of. It sounds kind of lame. I just remember like wanting to see it because one of my friends, Aaron, who runs the Cigar Social with me, he is obsessed with Stitch. He really likes Lilo and Stitch. So, like, he was excited when it was coming out, and he saw it today as well. I think he saw it yesterday. Did he see it yesterday or today? I saw an image of he posted on Instagram that he went to see it. I wanted to ask him how it was, but it was like, yeah, it was decent. Okay. But yeah, I kind of only wanted to see it because I had heard and I'd seen kind of an example in a very quick trailer for it of an homage to the two directors that originally made the first cartoon, Lilo and Stitch. Basically, it was kind of when they have do they have, like, does Jumba and Pleakley, do they have kind of holographic disguises or something, and in one shot they go haywire or something, and their human disguises look very much similar to the way that the directors appeared on the bonus features for the Lilo and Stitch DVD when it first came out. So basically, you had Dean DeBlois and also some other guy. I don't remember his name. Shocking that. I wonder why that is. Whatever. But basically, it had like either people who looked very much like them in that interview be them, or is it them? Is it kind of like, is that their disguise all the time? I don't know, but yeah, like that's the only reason why I want to watch it, because I want to see if this is an homage or if it's just a thing that is. That was a thing. I'm gonna go see it. Well, I'm gonna wait until it comes out on streaming because I can't afford to go to the cinema. But yeah, I want to see it. It did do that. That was a thing. Like, that would be funny. That would be something that I would like to. I would, I would feel in on the joke for. That would be kind of cool. The original actor that played Jumba is dead, which is very, very sad. But he was in a couple of things that I really liked. Really liked that particular actor. He was very good. And apparently a complete teddy bear, like very, very sweet guy. It's like, yeah. He played a villain on Stargate Atlantis, and I really liked that villain. He gave really good villain energy. He wasn't in it a lot, but he was very cool and very good at being the villain. So yeah. Oh, Poopy. Panda, you're not confirming what you're not saying anything back. It's okay. You're probably busy. I just wanted a confirmation, like a proper big confirmation that definitely is in the thing. Oh, they also changed Ice Cream Guy. I saw that in the trailer as well, and I don't like the change so much. And I it's his voice or his accent he had. What Jumbo? With the faux Russian accent to make it sound spacey. Is that what you're talking about? Yeah. So Ice Cream Guy, from the original Lilo and Stitch. I like that one better than, again, what I saw from the trailer. That one. So they tried to recreate the original Jumbo accent. Weird. Like I said, they can't get the original voice actor. They haven't tried to. What are you saying, pal? The accent wasn't even tried. God damn it! That was his whole thing. Ugh. I love the crazy Russian accent, the crazy space Russian accent. The whole only a little one. Made an abomination. Only a little one. I can't do it at all. I can't do a Russian accent. It does not work. But yeah, and his laugh. Oh, he had a really good laugh. I have no idea who posted it, but I did see it several times. There was like when the actor passed away that played Jumbo, there was like a thing on Twitter where a bunch of people posted, when it was still Twitter, a bunch of people posted like Stitch kind of like on a gravestone that said Jumbo, and it was like it was just him going Jumbo, and just with a single tear, and it was so sad that I intentionally didn't show Damon that picture for like a long time before, until basically I'd gotten over it a little bit. But yeah. He died of cancer or something, like pancreatic cancer. Pancreatic cancer is like weirdly common. It's kind of scary. They had like this big pancreatic cancer race go past our house. Walking, the big walking event. Basically, they just walked past our house, and it was kind of cool. But at the same time, and it did raise awareness. But at the same time, it taught me a bunch of shit about like how common pancreatic cancer is and how incredibly deadly it is. It's only got like a 15% survival chance or something. And that's if you catch it early, depending on what kind it is. It's like, ugh. But yeah, it made me scared. Made me a little bit scared. Only for a little bit, like cancer doesn't really scare me super much. It only scares me a tiny bit when I first hear about it, and then it kind of goes away. Because it's just likely that like we're all going to die of the two most common things that kill humans is just like it's cancer and heart disease. So yeah, you're scared of all cancer. I shouldn't tell you this, Panda Fox, but you probably have cancer in you right now. Also, everything causes cancer. So this is my version of the "It's Bedtime" song. Do you know ghosts can't be stopped by anything? I just hope it doesn't get serious. Well, that's the thing. Your body is created entire defense mechanisms against cancer. That's why most of the time cancer doesn't get serious. Essentially, the body once cancer starts in your body, when it's only a couple of cells big, then what usually happens is that those cancer cells, kind of like reach kind of almost a critical mass. It's the second time I've used that in this live stream. A critical mass where essentially something in the cell kind of like it triggers its own self-destruct by just like having too much energy producing mitochondria and stuff like that. If it basically gets too many of those, then that triggers the self-destruct by the nucleus, because it realizes that something's gone wrong, and that's it. It's like, right, okay, cell death, and it just kind of like it opens the walls of the cell in certain places, and it just kind of self-destructs. It kills itself. So yeah, there's that one, and that's basically one of the first lines of defense. And then there's all these other ways that your body has like certain kind of I don't know a lot of biology super well, but basically I have a friend who's, well, my ex is a vet, and she told me all about like fucking cancer at one stage. But yeah, it's all about like there's these cells that literally that part of your immune system literally goes around and checks on your cells to see if any of them have become dangerous, and they can also trigger the self-destruct if they've detected a bad cancer or just a cell that's just wrong or broken. Basically they go around and then they can basically like trigger the self-destruct in that cell, almost remotely, almost. um, so yeah, there's another line of defense. There's also like, if this fails, they also have like other cells that do other things that trigger like inflammation and stuff, which will build up pressure around that cell and kill it, around that cluster of cells, and then kill it. And like I said, all of this stuff is happening in your body usually all the time, because you usually have like around about 2 or 3 like this sized cancers in you, basically, and they get killed by your body just as you're going about your daily life and stuff like that. You're usually probably also going to have around about 3 or 4 small parasites living in you as well. Um, so yeah, another thing to be terrified about, especially if you eat meat. If you eat meat and you're in America, and if you're in America and you eat meat, then you're probably going to have a parasite or 2 in you as well. So yeah, it's just a thing. If you don't eat meat and have a cat, you definitely have a parasite in you. I can't remember, but that's isn't that one of the common parasites as well? You cook the meat to stop that. That's true. That's true. But if you have anything like with deli meat or anything like that, then you could still have it, because unlike in Europe, you have slightly more lax. You have a slightly more lax FDA. Your FDA isn't as strict and as kind of as powerful reaching, um, to basically ensure that all of the deli meat and all of the kind of like bacon and all of that stuff is clean enough to a point where it can't guarantee that it doesn't have parasites in it. In Europe, it's a lot different. In England, particular, in England particularly, like our version of the FDA is kind of incredibly strict and incredibly annoying to farmers and people who produce and process the food. So essentially, kind of like all of that stuff is kind of like our food is heavily irradiated and then deradiated and whatever. It basically is like vacuum chambered and all sorts to basically ensure that there are no parasites or no gunk in our like milk and in our meats and our cheese and our eggs and stuff. It's basically it's all incredibly processed to the point where it's just incredibly sterile, but it is safe. So yeah. Yeah, again, it's not entirely true though, is it? I mean, how many people have you known that have had food poisoning, that you can basically kind of guarantee that that food poisoning is probably because the seafood wasn't properly frozen before it was on sale. By the way, I'm not saying this is all like a bad thing. You can live perfectly normal lives with parasites in you and stuff. I probably have a couple in me. I'm okay with it. You know, I'm okay with it. Yeah. Do you know I found this out, by the way? I watched House, and like there's a couple of episodes where people have parasites, and yeah, he basically says that if you eat meat, then you have a parasite. And I was like, that can't be true, right? That's bad, isn't it? that's wrong, right? Pretty sure that's not accurate. Yeah, and then I looked it up and I did some research, and that's how I know about the whole, Europe pretty much parasite free, although there are some people that have parasites through different means. But America, yeah, you all have parasites. Like even if you don't eat meat, you're not safe. You have parasites. You are all like riddled with chest bursters. It doesn't change my opinion of you guys. I'm totally okay with it. I've been to America. I've eaten food that's slightly questionable. There is no shame. It just means you're human. I feel like somebody's looking this up right now because I said this, but no, check it out. It's totally true. I do know that Palafox has gone quiet. It's probably because he turned it off because he didn't want to hear about how he's got parasites in him. He's got bugs in him. You ate a tuna and bean sandwich. That's questionable itself. It was really good. I didn't think it was going to be good, but it was actually really good. And it wasn't a sandwich, it was a sub. And it was the size of a party sub. It was this big. No wonder I had acid reflux. Jesus. Like I ate that and was like, that was good. I like that. That's a me-sized portion. I'm happy with that. So yeah. Also drawing as I watch. Okay, fair enough. I'm probably not going to stick around for too much longer. Although I might want to see if I can get to the end of this page. What you drawing, panda? Panda? Oh, I did have a character of yours in one of my pictures already that I've put through the editor. It just clicked in my brain. It's the one of us on the couch, I think. I put it through the editor straight away. Straight away. It spat out something straight away that looked pretty good, but I knew if I touched it anymore, if I tried to alter anything in this picture, it would be fucked. So yeah, I think it's in the latest pictures that are on Discord if you want to go look at it right now. So yeah. Panda wants me to look at something on Discord. Probably because I told him to go look at something on Discord. Fine. I will go do it. Ugh. I will go do it now. I'm going to save this. There we go. Discord time. Where did you put it? Oh, there it is. Neat. Neat. I have a dead bottom. I've been sitting down for too long. He looks more like a badger than a possum. I honestly, like, I'm not being mean or anything, but I don't get it. That's why I just said neat, because it's like, I don't know what, it's kind of too soon in the process for me to see what you're trying to get at yet. You know? I'm gonna stand up. No, I'm talking about the AI pic. Is that an AI picture? Yeah, I still don't know what you were getting at. I'm still not okay then. I don't know what the AI was trying to get at. How about that? A better response for you, huh? Is that square or what? I'm gonna. Oh, nearly. I need the extra window. That's cute. Also, how do you know about this creature? That's random. Well-furred, rotund animal. That's a me. With short tails, modern hyraxes are typically between 30 and away. Yeah. 2 and 5 ellipses. They weigh between 2 and 5 ellipses. Oh, you mean the picture of your character in the redid version of that picture? You looked at it. You said you wasn't gonna, but you did. You looked at it. Neat. I said that too many times. Yeah, I didn't continue on that picture because it fucked up the arm and also missed out some key details. And I know that if I tried to correct those, it would just turn into a big jumbled pile of goop. And it would be like, that looks like a cool jumbled pile of goop, but that's not what I'm going for. You know. Has anybody else had this with AI when you are trying to say you put in a picture with two characters and they're both different sizes and shapes, and then it kind of evens out the picture so that both the characters are the same species and around about the same size and around about the same shape, which is usually smaller and not as round as you wanted them to be. Don't you hate that? Then, have you noticed that when you make suggestions for one of the characters, even specifying which character it is, sometimes it just adds those specifications to both the characters? Or if there's background characters, it will add those specifications to every background character. So if you basically say, can I have this have a dog head, then can I have this character have a dog head, this one here, the one on the left, you know? It will basically make all of them have dog heads. So I had to have a stretchy kind of like rub the head moment. And toot. Beans. Right, here's the point where I would normally go, but I'm going to try to power through. So I might not be talking so much. 1, 2, 3. What is it, Panafox, huh? What gives? Why is my eye being super stingy? Oh, it's probably because I'm tired. It's probably because I'm tired. It's okay, we're going to get through this. Just talking to myself. Nope. Need a fresh tissue paper. Wipe my eye. It's Sunday. I just realized I have made a boo-boo with the photo selection. Ugh. It's Sunday now. Just on Sundays, I usually just I go back to the top of the list of pictures instead of randomizing which picture goes next. Unless it's in a sequence, then I will pick the one at the top so that basically we get rid of all of the pictures from the top down, as opposed to just a random one and then a random one after that and then a random one, going down the selection. So there's no picture fatigue. So yeah, but the last time I uploaded a picture, it was another coach one and not one from the top. So yeah, I know, boring and lame. How comes I'm not near the bottom yet? Jesus. I've made an error. Oh my god. Stop. No. Stop. Okay. What are you guys up to today? Did I already ask that? I feel like I might have already asked that. Oh, is that today? I thought that was. Or if I thought that was yesterday. You mean tomorrow? Yeah, I mean, yeah, Sunday, whatever. It's today already for me. Panafolks, you always have that. That's your go-to answer. I mean, apart from it doesn't matter. Yay, the kiddie pool pictures. One, two. Okay, was it? Cool. Is that a thing? Do they smell good? I don't know. This is new information to me. I don't know how they smell. I know that linden trees smell of cum. Because now I'm playing that sketch in my head and it's funny. And now I've said that like that. I've got Dragon Ball Z abridged playing in my head now instead. No. My name is Dende. Right, yes, that makes sense. I don't think I've ever smelled a linden tree. No, I'm sorry. I've finished playing that sketch in my head, and it was very funny. However, like I said, I don't remember smelling one. Do they smell of cum? It's just a really good sketch. Do you smell cum? I can't say that. I can't. You must do. It's absolutely potent. Stop this. I beg your pardon. Stop this now. Oh, it's so good. What does he say? It's like it's not in keeping with contemporary moorings. What does that mean? It's like it's not Victorian. Look at this beard. This big Victorian beard. I am boiling and I'm covered in starch and I can barely move at home for little vases on stilts and paintings of children praying. And what's been the point? What has been the point of me being a Victorian if Queen Victoria herself is going to cycle over and ask me, can I smell cum? You tell him then. It's like, No. I'm gonna have to tell him. You'll say nothing. This society was your idea. I'm boiling and you'll say nothing. Oh, the whole sketch is just gold. It's just the best. It's the best sketch ever, in my opinion. Prime Minister. Unless one of us says something now, every single every single park, every single summer is going to smell of cum. Just gonna have to smell of cum. Fine, I love it. Oh, it's so good. Okay. Oh, I haven't done it yet. I'm getting closer. I'm getting closer. If you haven't seen the sketch, it's really good. It's the Mitchell and Webb look Victorian sketch. You can find it on YouTube. It's very, very, very funny. It is, like I said, it's my it is possibly my favorite sketch ever. It's my favorite comedic sketch ever, I think. Like it's at least in my top fives. It's one of the really good ones. It never gets old. It's just so good. But yeah, linden trees. Has anybody smelled a linden tree? I can't remember smelling one in particular, so I don't know if they smell of cum. Every single park, every single summer is going to smell of cum. Oh, I keep doing that. I wish there was a progress bar, like a percentage done thing, like based on how many files you've uploaded and actually put into the editing thing. I just realised I've been doing something wrong. Ugh. Oh well. Are you going to crash right now? That would suck. It didn't crash. That's good. Thank you for not crashing. 1, 2, 3. There. I am doing this tomorrow. Just this. I'm trying to make a big push in it so that I basically can get it done. So yeah. No, it just it paused for a second. It didn't crash, but yeah, that was good. It was close. I am going to save it in a second, just in case bullshit happens, because you know it's me, so it could easily happen. So what is your picture supposed to be then? We didn't get an answer. Or we didn't get an answer, but I feel like you might have said it, but I don't remember hearing it. Because I'm fucking stupid. Right, of course. Well, I didn't know because that was a while ago that you told me about the piñata. I accidentally said it correctly then. The piñata. Piñata. 1, 2, 3, 4. That one. I think the random number generator, the random number, was 4 last time. Weird. Am I saying piñata like an Italian person or like a Spanish person? Does it even matter? Probably not. That was incredibly harsh of my brain just now. One of the bridge crew in my brain head basically said, "It's like, is he going to draw anything anything interesting anytime soon?" It's like, dude, uncool. And I want to point out that I didn't say that. One of the aspects of my imagination did. Because that bit's a jerk. Oh, I'm also going to be drawing tomorrow a bunch because I have got a new commission I'm going to be working on. I want to be working on the video commission that I've got, but I cannot find my coach outfit, which is ironic because Like, those are the pictures that I'm working on right now. So yeah, it's hilarious, you guys. It's super hilarious and funny. So remind me about the pinata idea. Stop what you're doing and type some words into the chat. I want to be annoying. For funsies. Oh no. Oh, I'm kidding, by the way. You don't have to do it. You don't have to do that. That would be even funnier if you started already. It's funny to imagine you already starting. And then, yeah. You get it. It's hilarious either way for me. Okay. It's so specific, a niche in the furry community. Well, in any community, in any art community, it's a very specific niche. It's on my foot. I suspect I've been bitten. Pretty different. That's one way of saying it. Yeah. It's completely Fruit Loops crazy. Ugh. Ugh. It's uncommon. There you go. It's very uncommon. I feel like I'm coming to the end of the page, which is cool because I am ready to just play on the computer for a teeny bit and then go to bed. Ugh. I'm slightly worried about my office on account of it's making creaking ship noises, and it's never done that before. which is not really that worrying. It's just that I've never heard that off of outside of being on a wooden vessel at sea. So yeah, of which this is not. So oh yeah, what show's that? Oh, okay. Oh, so it's not a new show. It's just one that you are suddenly watching. Gotcha. I mean, there is like a couple of good scenes from it that are fun. Isn't there like an episode where the bear blows up or something? I'm pretty sure that's from that show. I've seen a few clips from something that, yeah. It's like somebody used to send me a bunch of clips to upload, to edit slightly and then upload from things, and I think that's one of the clips that they sent me. But like they said, they found an already altered, edited version of it. So they didn't. They said don't worry about it because they weren't paying me or anything. It was just more like I was going to put the pictures. I put the clips on my channels before. Oh, one of the channels is not here. Well, a couple of the channels are gone. So yeah, they're no longer around. So maybe they'll reach out again. I think that was that one guy that was mad at me for political reasons, though. I think it was that guy. Used to be like super. I think it was him. Used to be super active, and now is just kind of hates my guts. You think that's weird? What about the 80s and the 80s and the 90s are gold for guys that like super thuggy, hyper masculine characters in cartoons. because I was talking to somebody at Bear Bash about my art, which was cool, and how they are like an aspiring furry artist, and like they really like the rats in An American Tail. Because they're big thuggy dudes, you know, hyper masculine, like big thuggy dudes. I've been bitten on my leg. There's been a mosquito in here, and it got me. And they were basically explaining about like this. The rats in that all had like huge upper bodies. You know, they had like the classic kind of like fisherman striped tops and everything, like big cigars somehow for rats, you know, and they all had that same accent. You know, they had like the same accent when they did talk, and it was just like, yeah, okay, I get it. But yeah, they started to list all of the like cartoons in which like a bunch of these characters appeared and stuff, and I was like, oh, so it's basically the 80s to 90s, the 80s to mid 90s characters that do it for you. Just plug in. There we go. Oh, my butt fell asleep, and then I sat on it. Oh. And he was like, yeah, and he gave more evidence, and I was like, oh, okay. What's a Don Bluth? Don Bluth? Is that how you say it? But yeah. Body types were gold back then. Well, yeah. I mean, for me personally, I kind of preferred like the old style body types. You know, the lots of mice that are like pretty good stern body types. You know, like the Dr. Watson in the Great Mouse Detective, and the and you know, Bernard and that from the Rescuers, and like, yeah, just lots of cute-ish characters, mostly mice for some reason. But yeah, and some of the background characters are funny and cute too. So yeah, I get what you mean. But yeah, the thing is that cartoons are usually like people's first like experiences with kind of exploring like certain fetishes and certain aspects of their personality and stuff. They just like, that's just a thing that people get exposed to early on. That kind of is like I like this. It gives me a weird tingly feeling. You know, I don't know what it's about yet, but I like it. You know, for me, it was there was a thing with bikers, and because I'm bi, you know, I also had a thing for like the heroic, like women, girls, whatever. It was a thing. I had a thing for one of the Power Rangers, for um, the Pink Ranger, even though I couldn't see that she was pink. Like, I had a thing for the Pink Ranger. So not so much the Yellow Ranger, but that's only because because didn't she have a boyfriend? I mean, she had the Pink Ranger did have a boyfriend as well, but it was more that the Yellow Ranger was like No way. Was it the other way around? Did I have a thing for the Yellow Ranger? I can't remember. It was a long time ago. But yeah, like if you had, it was the thing. I either like Power Rangers. But yeah, they're okay. I saw pretty early on that it was garbage, but it was kind of the craze. Everybody liked it at the time, so I watched it to keep up with the storylines and stuff. So that I could impress everybody at school by learning about it. How about you give me some examples? How about that? But yes, once you get older, you kind of like can see how like some of the things that kids watch can be certain things, certain fetishes and stuff. Weird. Not cool. Bad noises. Not likey. Oh, there is a guy who is the primary animator, character designer, whatever, um, for a series of videos on Instagram. Well, yeah, all examples of like characters from back then that you found interesting. Like, not even attractive, just interesting characters. Like, that have good qualities that you might like, etc. Um, yeah, there's a guy basically that I know him. Like, I recognized him. Um, he does these animations. Well, he does the animating and the character design for them. And basically they're a bunch of just quick animations on Instagram. They're probably on TikTok as well, but they're just like super quick animations, like about like fights between like a wizard and a witch, or like like a they're just stick figures sometimes, but sometimes they're fully formed characters. They're really good, super quick, and the background music in them is usually archipelago sped up versions of like archipelago music, and also the voices are also um, archipelago. That sounds wrong. What am I saying? What am I trying to say? Archipelago is like an island chain or something. That's what that feels like. That's not. whatever. It's just somebody's voice. All the music is somebody's voice sped up, and all of the talking is super quick and super fast and stuff. But I know this guy. This guy is on for Affinity. He really he has a smoking fetish, and also an inflation fetish, and also a big muscly do fetish. Every single one of the cartoons has one of these elements in it. I can't unsee it now. It is hilarious to me that this is a thing. Like, he'll put one of these things in, or multiple of these things in, like, the cartoons, and it's always funny to be like, ha, there it is. Knew it was coming. So yeah, I just wanted to say that because I thought it was funny. It's funny to me that so many people are into turning into giant blueberries. That was a weird one for a lot of people. Again, not something I'm super into, but like I mean, I have had the weird fascination with wanting to know what it's like to be rolled, easily, not kind of with the weird effort thing, but kind of I do want to know what it's like to feel what it's like to actually be rolled, you know. But I mean, as far as that's concerned, that weird curiosity of mine, that's as far as I take it. But I can see how other people like it. I can see what people get out of it, and I've heard so many stories of like people's awakening. Ooh, people's awakenings to the whole blueberry thing. Um, so yeah, like, I can get it, but I don't have it myself. Apart from the whole, I really like being overly full, and the weird fascination with wanting to feel what that's like. Anyway, that's it though. I don't have the whole turning blue thing. It's not really a thing that does anything for me. The ball thing is not really my thing either. It's just like it's like an interesting aesthetic. I would like to know what it feels like, as well as like when I'm padded up. It does feel incredibly natural to be that size. Like I'm supposed to be that size, I guess. But yeah, it's a thing. There was a show called Monster Allergy that had a monster swallowing people whole, and all the monsters were huge. It always made feel funny and devious for some reason. Yeah, that feeling is weird. I got a weird feeling when it came to Biker Mice from Mars. When I watched Biker Mice from Mars. Another mouse thing. That's strange. I don't have a mouse thing though. Just weird. Anyway, yeah. I feel that sometimes I wonder if inflation stuff is BDSM with extra steps. It is. Yeah, it is. It's just funny to me that they obsess over the blue outfit, red belt. Yeah, that bit is weird. That bit is strange. Like, I get the I can understand the whole belt thing, like the bursting belt being kind of like, you know, like a pre-climax moment, as it were. I get it. I can get that. But the actual obsession with the actual outfit and stuff is funny. With when they're into the whole steps, like every single step, mimicking every single step of the original movie. Not so much the new one. Apparently, that's rubbish. I don't know. Also, I love sharp teeth. Again, that depends. I can see what you mean, but I find them only kind of attractive if it's kind of like it depends on the character. You know, with certain, if it's only one or two sharp teeth for canine, canines, um, canines, then yeah, I get that. And the tusk thing, that's cute, but yeah, I know he can't defend himself because he's unconscious probably right now. But I'm still really confused about the whole Andy not liking orcs thing, because he likes big thuggish kind of type guys and stuff. And it's like they are the ultimate thugs. Orcs are the ultimate thugs. How's that? Yeah, I don't know. They're the ultimate badasses. I guess that's one of the things. Actually, one of the things that I kind of do get off on is if I've eaten so much that I can't really move easily. So I guess I'm also in the kind of like inflation BDSM, you know, bondage kind of situation, I guess. But it's more like because I'm more of a dom like character. It's not so much a it's not so much as like, oh, they have all the power over me kind of thing now. It's more of a like, nope, I get to be pampered now because I can't do it by myself. I'm not going to continue with this bit. I'm gonna move on and just count numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4. That one. Yeah. Sorry, I keep thinking that something's touching my foot, but I'm pretty sure that it was just that mosquito that bit me already. So it can't really. It should be full now. It should leave me alone. Uh, I don't know. I don't want to do this anymore. What do you guys think? Should I do a should I put the AI art when it's done into its own art dump, or should I just not worry about it so much? Yeah, it's weird. I've had such mixed feel, mixed responses from it. It's like some people really love it, but most people either ignore it or are against it. So it's like, That's why I was asking. I was just trying to get a perspective. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right. Anybody got anything they want to ask me or say to me before I go? I'm getting very close. Very close. To finish it. Not finishing, but finishing the page so that I can start anew tomorrow. Well, I think basically you've given me the general specifications. If you want to change anything or add anything, then let me know. Like, it's very, very, very simple. Like, I'm not going to start it until like probably midday-ish tomorrow. So yeah. With very dry lips, I'm gonna have something to drink, I think. Why did I say that out loud? Nobody cares. Fair enough. I do like your concept, your other concept. I was thinking about how I could have arranged that. I was like imagining basically a very round guy that had a leather waistcoat, but a white t-shirt and like like a number, but on the side, so that he looks like the black striped ball, you know. It was just funny imaginings and stuff. Also trying to figure out who the eight ball would be the leader of the biker gang, and where he's like would he have like a big 8 on his helmet and just have him in like a big leather jacket, or would he basically have the 8 on the back, or what? I was imagining all of these different kind of like combinations and situations and stuff, and it was like, well, not situations, just proportions and people and outfits and stuff. Well, it doesn't have to be all black clothing for everybody. It could be like, obviously not all of the balls are black. So yeah. For example, you can get different shades of waistcoats. So they could all be striped. So they could all have like the generic uniform of being different colors with different numbers written on their shirts. And he could be the only one that gets to wear like the big proper You know, he could be the proper 8-ball, like, and have like the 8 somewhere, either on the helmet or the, yeah, or on the back, and he could have like the big leather jacket or whatever, you know. Yeah, you could go the fantasy route. You can have like the Technicolor orcs, because you can have blue orcs, you can have red orcs, you can have green orcs. You know, I was going to say you can have black orcs, but that's problematic, probably. So, is yellow orcs going to be problematic, or is it just a Simpson orc? You know, who knows? I don't know. Well, I was just trying to imagine all of the different colors on the, you know, on a pool table. But yeah. Yeah, but how would they be in a biker gang together? Or is it just a cop that is kind of like corrupted into the gang, or is there connection or something? Yeah. Okay, well, this opens up more avenues, but I still like their uniform idea as well. But do you not like my uniform idea? It's just something they do biker stuff on the weekends. Biker stuff. I like that. It's like that's their uniforms. They could still do the uniform thing. You can get, like I said, you can get different shades of leather. So yeah, and yeah, you can think of something else for the yellow guy. You know, he could be the doctor or something. Or is that the white ball? You know, you don't just because yellow is associated one with one particular fetish doesn't mean that it's like, yeah. I mean, for example, I've got a friend who like he chose a specific item of clothing because it wasn't a jacket. It was well, it was a kilt. The yellow kilt that Patch got that I tried on. It's not because he has a piss fetish at all. It's more because basically he likes that it stood out. It just stood out better in photos. And having got my own green kilt, I can say that that's true. That is definitely true. It does stand out way. The yellow stands out way better in photos than the green. You know, the green basically it loses the pattern sometimes in if you know if it's far enough away you can lose the pattern very easily, whereas the yellow you can definitely see kind of like the checkered tartan pattern on it. So yeah, but yeah, you just have to have that represent something else. But yeah, the yellow ball. Gold. He could be the money bags. He could be Mr. Moneybags. Or or it could be their cabbie connection or something. You know, you could have like a yellow taxi cab. Like he could work in the yellow taxi. You know, I'm trying to think of other things. It's like I was thinking of like transport stuff. But yeah. You like the treasure idea, associating it with money? The yellow is like gold, therefore money. Yeah. Like he could work at the bank, or he could be like he could be the treasurer. Oh, you already wrote that. Like he could. Like he could be the corporate face or something. Like he could just. I don't know. I don't know. I don't. I can't really go. I can't really delve too far into that. And also, try to think of what else yellow represents. You know. He could be a fisherman. You know, with the yellow raincoats. He could be a fisherman. Sorry, my brain was yelling at me. This. It was like, there's something you're missing. That's really obvious. Something you're missing. So I wasn't like trying to say that like I think it's important that he should be a fisherman. I was trying to say that I was missing out the fact that yellow is very easily associated with the raincoats that fishermen can wear. You know, I mean, you could go really, really cheesy and basically have him as a lollipop man. And if you don't know what that is, um, in America, you do have like crossing attendants, street crossing attendants near schools, right? Well, over here we have those as well, and they are called lollipop men, and that literally is because they have a big stop sign that's on a pole that they walk into the middle of the road with, and then they put it down like a staff and say you shall not pass and stuff, and it basically is just stop, and then they wave over wave people over to cross the road, and that's their whole job. But they wear big yellow coats for visibility and stuff. Anyway, but yeah, the fisherman idea. So yeah, it could be in a seaside resort town, which is definitely a thing that bikers go to because they go to Florida all the time for biker rallies. So yeah, I know this because I kind of want to go to one. But yeah, anyway, fisherman. I feel like there's another one that we're missing. I feel like there is another one we're missing. You know, jobs that are associated with the color yellow. I feel like there is one that we are missing that isn't super obvious, but it's there. Oh, did you look it up? I mean, yeah. I was literally going to suggest you could just go to Google and just type in, it's like job star associated with the color yellow, um, because that's what I was gonna potentially do. I can do it now. And then I'm going. Electrician. Sorry, that wasn't on here. I'm just saying electrician. Creative industries, photographers, writers, directors, actors, filmmakers, artists, technology and design, graphic design, and web developers. I think this is just a general thing. Social media managers, marketing and advertising, marketing professionals, entertainment actors, musicians. Okay, so it's a musician thing. I mean, it's a creative thing. Yeah, positive and creative industries. Positive in creative industries. Oriented search and rescue. Right. I'm gonna blow your mind here. We have the checker patterns. The checkered patterns on vehicles and on uniforms. These are the ones that basically show the emergency services and the first responders. And actually, no, I can't remember what the mountain rescue is. I think it's red and green. Anyway, yeah, basically they've got the checkered patterns. For police, it's blue and white. For ambulance service and EMTs and stuff, it's green and white. Um, for firefighters and the fire department, it's red and white, and like it's for boats. I think it's yellow. Actually, it's yellow and white. And boats and mountain rescue is yellow and white. So yeah, boats. So yeah, they've got the checkered patterning on like their uniforms and on the vehicles themselves. If if they're on different vehicles, it's basically to show that when their sirens go off, that shows what department they are for anyway when they need to get to some place anyway. Yeah, it's over the creative fields. It just says the creative fields basically, but I mean, I would always associate yellow with being like construction as well. There's another one. That's probably the one I was thinking of. It's like electricians and construction gear. Early construction gear had yellow as their waistcoats. The high visibility waistcoats. However, modern day times have discovered that orange is more visible, like a highlighter orange is far more visible, and also doesn't attract bugs as easily as yellow does. So yeah, purple seems to be more like a creative field. I'm just saying what this tells me. This is telling me it's more creative. It's for the creative kind of like industry and fields and stuff like that. However, I agree with you. I don't see it as that. I see it as more of a construction industry color. You know, there's a lot of construction gear and stuff that is basically yellow, especially the classic stuff. Modern times, like I just said, orange has been it's orange and red has basically taken over, like the yellow color, mainly because it is shown to be more visible and attracts less bugs. So yeah, I would go for a construction worker. I really like the fisherman idea, or you can have him have like a yellow waistcoat that is kind of like a posh waistcoat compared to everybody else's. Like it's actually for a suit, like he takes it off to reveal that it's like, that he's part of the gang, or he unbuttons it and it shows like his number or something on his shirt to make dramatic effects happen whenever he's basically like it, yeah, but he's the money bags of the group. I like that idea. Or he could just be a fisherman, or an electrician, or a construction guy. I think any of those options are pretty good. If you're going for more of a story idea, I'm just saying. Right, I am gonna go because I need to pee now as well as everything else. So yeah, it's because it was wet outside earlier. So yeah. And we've been talking about the color yellow. Maybe that's what it was. It triggered my my pee reflex. Well, not reflex. You know what I mean. Leave me alone. Right. Ugh. Tiny Two. Belly rubs. And belly salute. And yeah. I'll see you guys not tomorrow, but the next day. And have a good Sunday. And yeah, if I have any questions, I'll let you know. And if you have any more like details or information that you want to give me, including if you want just a sketch page of ideas, then I'll be happy to like show you like my ideas for the uniform version of their outfits. Like obviously not the yeah. I'm assuming that you would like them to be all like fairly round or fairly spherical shaped. So yeah. Yeah, that's it. I think I'm good. Toodles. I should not have sat down. My butt is really sore.